Leaves! They give us shade and nature puts on a spectacular show of color, and our gardens are showered with a bounty of fallen leaves. Now, you might be tempted to see this as just another chore, another pile to be bagged and dragged to the curb. But I'm here to tell you, don't. Those leaves, my friends, are not just rubbish. They are gardener's gold. Yes, you heard me right. Those golden, crimson, and russet leaves hold the key to healthier plants, richer soil, and a more vibrant garden. They are nature's own fertilizer, packed with nutrients just waiting to be unlocked. And the best part? Turning this leafy treasure into garden gold is easier than you might think. So, grab your wellies, put on your gardening gloves, and let's step into the garden together. I'm going to show you how to transform those fallen leaves into beautiful, rich compost that will breathe life into your garden. Our first step is wonderfully straightforward and satisfying. It's time to gather our leaves. Now, you can be as methodical or as carefree as you like here. A gentle rake through the garden will gather those leaves into neat piles, or you can simply scoop them up from your driveway and paths. Don't be afraid to get stuck in. There's something incredibly therapeutic about the rhythmic sweep of a rake through a carpet of autumn leaves. And remember, every leaf you collect is a step towards healthier soil and happier plants. Now here's a little tip from an old gardener. Shredded leaves break down much faster than whole ones. So if you have a lawnmower, give those leaves a quick whiz to shred them up. No lawnmower, no problem. A quick crunch with your hands will do the trick just fine. There's no need to be too precise here. We're aiming for a good mix of leaf sizes. Remember, this is gardening, not brain surgery. The joy is in the process, and the rewards are well worth a little bit of leafy chaos. Now that we've gathered our golden bounty, it's time to talk about layering our compost. This is where the magic happens, transforming what many consider waste into a rich, fertile treasure for our gardens. Think of your compost pile as a gourmet meal for your garden. It needs the right balance of ingredients to be truly nourishing. Just like a chef carefully selects ingredients to create a perfect dish, we need to be mindful of what goes into our compost. In the world of composting, we talk about browns and greens. These are the essential building blocks of a healthy compost pile. Browns are your carbon-rich materials, and that's where our leaves come in. They are the dry, woody materials that provide structure and aeration to the compost. They provide the energy that those microscopic composting heroes, bacteria and fungi, need to work their magic. These tiny organisms break down the organic matter, turning it into nutrient-rich humus. But just like we need a balance of nutrients in our diet, our compost needs a good mix of greens too. Greens are the fresh, moist materials that add nitrogen, an essential nutrient for the composting process. Greens are your nitrogen-rich materials, and they add the protein punch to our compost feast. Without them, the composting process would slow down significantly. Think kitchen scraps, those vegetable peelings, fruit cores, and coffee grounds that you'd normally toss in the bin. These are perfect green materials that help speed up the decomposition process. Grass clippings are another fantastic green ingredient, adding a boost of nitrogen to the mix. They decompose quickly and help to heat up the compost pile, accelerating the breakdown of materials. Now, the key here is balance. Too much of one type of material can throw off the composting process. Aim for a ratio of about 2 to 3 parts brown to 1 part green. This ensures that the compost has enough carbon to provide energy and enough nitrogen to support microbial activity. So for every 2 or 3 buckets of leaves, add 1 bucket of kitchen scraps or grass clippings. This balance helps maintain the right conditions for decomposition. Don't worry too much about getting the ratios exactly right. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you'll be well on your way to creating compost gold. The important thing is to keep adding a variety of materials and to turn the pile regularly to keep it aerated. Turning the compost helps to mix the materials and introduce oxygen, which is crucial for the aerobic bacteria that break down the organic matter. With patience and care, you'll soon have rich, dark compost to nourish your garden. Our compost pile is starting to take shape, but just like any living thing, it needs a little bit of TLC to thrive. Composting is a delicate balance of various elements, and understanding this balance is key to creating rich, fertile compost that will benefit your garden immensely. And the key ingredients for happy compost are moisture and air. Without these, the organic matter won't break down properly, and you could end up with a smelly, unusable mess. Think of your compost pile like a damp sponge, not sopping wet, but moist enough to squeeze a few drops out. This moisture level is crucial because it allows the microorganisms to thrive and break down the organic material efficiently. Give it a good watering every now and then, especially if the weather's been dry. During hot summer months, your compost pile can dry out quickly, so regular checks and watering are essential. If you can plunge your hand into the center of the pile without it feeling soggy, you're on the right track. The compost should feel like a wrung-out sponge, indicating the perfect moisture level. Now, just as we need air to breathe, those busy microorganisms in our compost need oxygen to do their work. Without sufficient air, the composting process slows down, and anaerobic conditions can develop, leading to unpleasant odors. That's where turning the pile comes in. By turning the compost, you introduce air into the mix, which is vital for the aerobic microorganisms that break down the organic matter. Once a week, give your compost a good turn with a garden fork or a pitchfork. This regular turning ensures that all parts of the pile get exposed to air, promoting even decomposition. This mixes everything up, adding vital oxygen to the mix and helping those microorganisms break down the organic matter more efficiently. The more you turn, the faster your compost will be ready to use. Turning the compost also helps to distribute the moisture evenly and prevents any unpleasant odors from building up. A well-aerated compost pile is less likely to smell and more likely to produce high-quality compost. So, roll up your sleeves, get stuck in, and give your compost heap a good workout. With the right balance of moisture, air, and a little bit of love, your compost will thrive, turning kitchen scraps and garden waste into black gold for your garden. Now you might be wondering, why go to all this trouble? Why should you invest your time and effort into composting leaves when it seems so much easier to just dispose of them? Why not just bag up those leaves and leave them for the bin men? After all, it's a quick and convenient solution, right? Well, let me tell you, composting your leaves is one of the most rewarding things you can do for your garden and for the planet. It's a simple yet powerful way to enrich your soil and promote a healthier environment. Firstly, compost is like a gourmet feast for your soil. It's packed with essential nutrients that your plants need to thrive. Think of it as nature's way of recycling nutrients back into the earth. It's packed with essential nutrients that your plants need to thrive. These nutrients are slowly released over time, providing a steady supply of nourishment for your plants. Adding compost to your garden beds is like giving them a vitamin boost, resulting in stronger, healthier plants. Your plants will grow more robustly, with vibrant foliage and bountiful yields. Secondly, compost helps to improve soil structure. It helps sandy soils retain moisture and improves drainage in clay soils. This means your plants will have better access to water and air, which are crucial for their growth. It helps sandy soils retain moisture and improves drainage in clay soils. This dual benefit ensures that your garden soil remains balanced and conducive to plant health. And good soil structure is essential for healthy plant growth. When the soil is well structured, roots can penetrate more easily, and plants can establish themselves more firmly. Thirdly, compost helps to suppress plant diseases and pests. It does this by encouraging beneficial microorganisms in the soil that help to keep harmful ones in check. These microorganisms create a balanced ecosystem that supports plant health. It does this by encouraging beneficial microorganisms in the soil that help to keep harmful ones in check. This natural defense mechanism reduces the need for chemical pesticides and fertilizers. And last but not least, composting your leaves is a fantastic way to reduce your impact on the environment. By composting at home, you're keeping organic waste out of landfills and repurposing waste and producing fertilizer for your garden. This simple act can significantly improve your garden harvest. So, by composting your leaves, you're not only creating black gold for your garden, but you're also doing your bit to protect our planet. It's a win-win situation for both your garden and the environment. And that's something to feel good about. Knowing that you're contributing to a healthier planet while nurturing your garden is truly rewarding. So grab those leaves, start composting, and watch your garden flourish like never before. There you have it. Composting leaves made easy. It's a simple, rewarding process that transforms garden waste into a valuable resource. Remember, Gardening is all about working with nature, not against it. And by composting your leaves, you're harnessing nature's own recycling system to create a healthier, more vibrant garden. Don't be afraid to experiment, to get your hands dirty, and to learn as you go. Every garden is different, and every compost pile is unique. Embrace the process, enjoy the journey, and celebrate the small victories along the way. And who knows, you might even inspire your friends and neighbors to start composting too. Imagine a world where every fallen leaf is seen not as rubbish, but as a valuable resource, a gift from nature waiting to be transformed. So go forth, my fellow gardeners, and create your own black gold. Your garden and our planet will thank you for it. I hope you feel inspired to start composting those leaves and turning them into beautiful, rich compost for your garden. Remember, every little bit helps. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more gardening tips and inspiration. And be sure to share your composting journey with me in the comments below. I love hearing from you. Until next time, happy gardening.